So what is the role of the appellate court in the judicial system? The trial court applies the law to the case or referees a dispute and applies the law to the case, where the appellate court reviews the record from the trial court to look to see if there were errors in the application of the law and or errors of constitutionality of the law, that the law itself is unconstitutional and should not have been applied in the case. So those are the two issues. So in this video, we're going to talk about the application of the law in the case. So we've already talked about substantive law, the law itself, and the procedural law, how that law is applied. Okay, so the appellate court will look and see, okay, in this case, the trial court applied this substantive law, and they'll look and say, okay, did they apply it in the manner that was intended by the creators of the law? They'll look at legislative notes, they'll look at prior applications of the law, etc., to make certain that the substantive law was applied correctly. If it was not applied correctly, they have the ability to reverse the case or some portion of the case, some charge in the case or some cause of action in the case, and remand it back to the trial court and say, hey, no, this substantive law was not applied in accordance with the intent of its creation. So in that case, the decision is overturned with regard to the application of that law. Now, on the procedural side, the appellate court will look and say, hey, were all procedural matters followed in the case? All right. And if they determine that the procedural law was not applied correctly in the trial court and that the way the procedural law was applied prejudiced the party appealing the matter, if they find that, then they can overturn the matters, the charges, the cause of action that were affected by that procedure, by that incorrect application of the procedural law, and again, remand it back to the trial court. They do not make decisions themselves generally. The only time the appellate court will review a case anew is called de novo review, and that's where they take in new evidence, etc. But that's a rare situation. Normally, the appellate court's role is simply to review for constitutionality of the law and then the application of the law, both application of procedural law and application of the substantive law.